and welcome to what is going to be a new podcast for the print and sign industry. I'm Jack Gocher from Iron Display. I'm joined by
Andy McGuinness from SEDO Large Format Solutions.
I'm Matt Hanley from M-Two. I don't know why I put my hand up. I'm not at school. I'm Matt Hanley from M-Two, which is matching talent with opportunity.
So we're just going to sit and have a chat. We'll tell each other a little bit about who we are and what we do. I mean, I edit Iron Display. It's a magazine for the industry. I've been in the print sign industry for 30 years as a PR marketing person, working for various people. In fact, Andy doesn't even remember. I interviewed him about 20 years ago. Far off that, when he was quite young at SEDO. That was a Seiko, I think, you had there.
Yes.
Would have been an old colour painter.
Like that. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, tell us about yourself, Andy.
So I'm the MD at SEDO. We specialise in large format printers and supplies. We do disaster recovery as well for our customers. So we put this showroom machinery to good use. I was probably always destined to do some form of printing. My dad worked for Xerox and other concessionaires for photocopiers, and he left a company who did large format, and then Xerox approached him and said, why don't you set up for yourself? That was 2005. I was then a barrister's clerk. I was then a Prudential for a few years after that. And then a position became available with my dad to do consumables. So I did that and kind of worked my way up, and now I'm MD, and my dad's been retired for the last 6 years.
Yeah, you made that crucial error. You get into this industry, you can't get out.
That's it, yeah. 15 years later, I'm still here.
Yeah. How about you, Matt?
So yeah, I'm into my 14th year of recruitment, and I'd say 90% of those 14 years has been in and around large format, digital print, signage. I set up M2. We've just completed our third full year, so heading into our fourth one now, and yeah, just recruitment within our niche. Really, I bloody enjoy what I do with the clients that I work with, which then in turns means that I guess I'm getting the right type of candidates as well, that I enjoy. So then very quickly becomes enjoyable in terms of like a human process. It's not just a bums on seat type of thing, and it's less transactional when everybody's on the same page. So yeah, I think all three of us service the industry really, really well. We're all kind of reputable within our own rights, and hopefully this will give people a bit of an insight as to what it's like on the supplier side as well.
Yeah, no, I think that's right. So on that basis, how's your month been? We're at the end of July. How's your month?
So it's in terms of financials, then yeah, we're good. We're probably 180% to target. Above target, which is good. I did lose a member of staff this month though, which isn't ideal. So yeah, I never realised how hard recruitment is when you're recruiting recruiters. It's nigh on impossible to find kind of decent people for yourself. Pretty good at doing it for other people, Andy? But yeah, for myself, I'm really, really struggling, to be fair.
Well, it must be scary because whoever you will be talking to will be looking at your job, really. They're going to be, you almost got to go all the way to somebody sort of fairly fresh and new. Anyone experienced, it must be quite tricky.
Yeah, but as a tiny little business, as in it's just me and then Lindsay 3 days a week. Like I can't afford for it to be somebody new. I need experience, and I need somebody that wants to see it as I guess as an opportunity to start up on their own, but with the security of joining a now reputable business. But yeah, just going back to your question, the month's been decent. Moving into kind of August, September is looking good as well. But if any recruiters listen to this, then shout me.
Yeah, I mean, I've had as you know, I've sort of moved from my home of nearly 30 years to currently sort of up north in the Lake District, but we're sort of looking for somewhere to live. So July's been a bit of an itty-bitty month of looking for houses. But I've got my nice little base here to do this. It's quite nice to sit and have a chat about various goings-on in the industry. I mean, how about you, Andy?
Yeah, it's been a good month, actually. It's my end of year today as well. So we're just frantically trying to close off the last invoices and dot the I's, cross the T's, all those kind of things. But yeah, the kind of highlight was Vanguard. We installed the first Vanguard in the UK, which was great. So that was a 3.2 meter roll-to-roll UV printer at one of our current customers called Guardian Display, which was only literally a 5-minute walk from my house, which was quite nice. So hopefully all goes to plan, and I don't have to face them every time I leave the house and come back.
He'll be waiting for you to leave the door.
But I think everything's gone really well. Went there on the last day of the install. They're printed onto fabric for exhibitions. Looked absolutely phenomenal on the print. Customers very, very happy, and yeah, hopefully the start of many more actually.
Didn't you have to sacrifice your wife's birthday as well to go on the install?
I did, yes. And I did get lots of phone calls and texts whilst I was there. It took 2.5 hours to get the printer off the van, actually. It was a bit of a task because we did have a tree and a lamppost in the way, which didn't help, but the guys at Ponds and Bees were really, really good, very professional, worked around it, so that was good. But yeah, the wife was texting me saying, "Can you come back now, please?" I did say for her to come to the install, but she wasn't really too impressed with that idea.
God.
So
inconsiderate.
In lunch. Yeah.
I think I would have invited Catherine to come. Yeah, I mean, she's very good spatial awareness wise. She might have helped with that, but no, probably not. You did make it. And what about you? Surely.
Oh yeah, we went to the Roslyn South End. It's a very nice place for lunch, and a few cocktails afterwards. So yeah, I think I'm in the books again.
I reckon you could have navigated that tree and the lamppost after those cocktails as well. I bet the customer would have been a bit like that though. What's he doing? What about you, Jack? Like PR and news stories wise in the summer holidays, is that naturally like just a slower time, or?
It is a slower time, absolutely, but there's always something going on. There's always, I mean, like Andy with the Vanguard story. We did a bit of that, but I'm going to have a chat with the guy tomorrow actually and get the truth behind the install to get his view. But there's always stuff going on. I'm currently planning a printed magazine because I feel like I should print occasionally in time for the print show. So I've got to stand there and going to be something to hand out. So yeah, we kept busy.
Nice.
But, enjoying the weather as well.
Have you learned any northern twangs yet?
I tell you what you do find, there are different words for things. So down south, I'm obviously from Brighton, we call an alleyway a twitten. Ever heard of a twitten? What do you call it? Yeah. Yes. Well, Sussex, a gimel, that's it. That was the word somebody used. Didn't know what they were talking about. You mean the twitten? Anyway. Most of the time
does that mean like in between the twitten?
Yeah, little walking alley between houses. Maybe that's the specific...
I reckon so.
Twitten. Yeah, between. There you go. But most of the time, actually, I've got to concentrate hard on what people are saying. I mean, you're not too bad, Matt, but I think you're toning it down for us.
No, you've got any posh voice to that today, haven't you?
Andy needs subtitles for me.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm too bad with I've got an Essex twang, or not really.
Oh, proper, mate. All right, darling. Yes, mate.
Yeah.
I'm not quite like Towie, I don't think. It might say otherwise.
It's not bad.
Not far off.
Okay, so we're going to sort of pick up various sort of subjects that are relevant to the industry and not relevant to the industry and things that we just kind of want to chat about. And Matt, this is something that you brought up, so I'm going to let you start on this. You talked about talking about all forms of ghosting, which I was chatting with my brother-in-law last night, and he said, "What's that?" So, first of all, for the older listeners, you might have to say what ghosting is. Apologies, all.
For me, and I don't think it's just universal in recruitment. I think it can be kind of spread across every form of everything. But ghosting is basically you have an initial conversation or a follow up on a lead or a discussion, and then all of a sudden, bam, gosh, done, like just nothing. And recruiters do it, clients do it, candidates do it, potential prospects do it. No matter what you do, you will encounter it. And I just think, like, as grown-ups, and obviously everyone that we deal with are grown-ups, or supposed to be, like, just say it how it is. Like, if you don't, it's your career. Like, so I'll put it back into recruitment perspective. Like, it's your career. Like, I'm the facilitator, I'm the instigator, I'm the intermediary. If you change your mind at any point, just tell me. It's fine. And basically what I try and do is just build those relationships where it's not an issue if the night before you go, actually, I don't want to go to that second stage interview because of this, that, or the other. And I just think, why are you scared? Like, just say it how it is, and then people move on and react accordingly. So I just think life's too short. Just you don't want to burn any bridges. If you've changed your mind on anything, or you don't suddenly want to do something, then just say. And again, I'm not just pinpointing recruitment there. I'm sure you guys have done it. I'm sure you get stories, Jack, and just go, oh yeah, speak to us next Wednesday or whatever, and then you just can't get hold of them again.
Yeah. I mean, I guess people are busy, but isn't this something that comes from more about sort of relationships, particularly for younger people? I mean, I think isn't the worst thing when you text someone. Yeah, well, yeah.
We're not the group to be able to comment on that.
Well, no, I did have teenagers fairly recently. I think the worst one is you text somebody and you see the 3 dots coming, and that's the last year of it. Then nothing comes through, and I think that's really what ghosting is, isn't it? It's about when you're sort of going out with someone, they just disappear, but you only have to go texting. You guys are looking beautifully confused. I love it. All our younger listeners are going to know exactly what this is. And I think that approach maybe is filtering in to a business sense. In that,
there's the problem. Just pick up the phone. Don't rely on a text message back. Just pick up the phone.
Yeah,
people are
that's
scared
what I
of the
tend
phone.
to do now. Yeah, we find that actually that if you keep sending emails that just checking in, is there an update? Just want to know if you're still going ahead. It's really easy to ignore. People are busy these days, and it's rude not to reply. But sometimes you pick up the phone, you catch them off guard, and you find out the real reason. And think people are straying towards emails a little bit too much. When I think good old fashioned picking up the phone, having a conversation, and then you find out what the real reason is. Oh, you're a little bit too expensive, or you didn't quite have what I wanted at that time, or something's happened. So yeah, picking up the phone is great. I should do more of it myself actually. I can be a little bit reliant upon email. I think just because it's easy and you don't want to keep pestering someone, I think.
Yeah, and I think for me personally, I just give people an out. So if I try to call them a couple of times and they don't come back or whatever, that was bad timing, wasn't it? And then my kind of third touch point would be, look, I've tried to call you a couple of times. I understand that this might not be right for you right now, but if I don't hear back from you by close of play on, I don't know, Thursday, Friday or whatever, then you won't hear from me again until you're ready. And 9 times out of 10, you get people, oh, sorry, yeah, just really busy. And then they'll come, and then they will come back to you. But yeah, just ghosting as a whole, I just think, just say it how it is, and people will react and move, and probably I know will have so much more respect for you as an individual, just to go, actually, that's not quite right for me now.
Yeah, I had a cold email come through from a recruiter, actually, a local one, saying we did something with them years ago. Sorry, Matt. We did something years ago with them.
I hope you ghosted them.
I did, yeah. Actually, I did actually go back to them. I said, we've just recruited a few people over the last year or so. We're not looking, but bear us in mind, give us another call in 12 months. Woof, and that's it. And he went, oh, thank you ever so much for getting back to us. I'm not going to be pestered by him anymore. He knows where he stands. We'll move on.
Absolutely.
It's quite an easy thing to do, really. It took me 30 seconds to write out an email.
And now Matt's back in the game.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Of course, you're a good guy.
But it's a two-way street, isn't it? I mean, do you answer phone calls from numbers you don't recognise?
Yeah.
You probably do.
I have to. The amount of people that I call on a daily basis, I can't. Otherwise, my contacts would be like, I don't know, 6,500 people deep. So, yeah, 1,000,000%.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say there's a lot of people that don't, because of all kinds of reasons, just get stuck on a call. It might be a sales call, might be a recruiter trying after. A lot of people just screen calls, and that's really why people are pushed into doing emails and so on. So I think
What about voicemails? Do you leave voicemails? And do you listen to voicemails?
I listen
I
to
don't tend
voice
to leave
messages.
them.
I don't leave. If somebody leaves a voicemail, then I'll call back to that it's a real thing. If I call for voicemail, I'll normally just send an email at that point if they don't pick up.
I always leave a voicemail, and I always listen to them. What
I
about you,
listen.
Andy?
Yeah, I do listen to them. I don't always leave them. If I know the person, I might.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I,
see.
yeah,
If I
don't
know
tend
the
to.
person, I wouldn't. Isn't
Oh,
that strange?
I
North-South
think
divide, that one.
so. The strategy there is if you don't know them, leave a message. Then they'll know that you're a real person and might call you back and follow it up with another message of some sort. But hey, don't ghost people, especially not your recruiters. They get very upset.
I'm a fully grown ass adult. Like it's okay to change your mind.
Yeah, you get over it.
No,
Yeah, you get over it.
no,
Good stuff.
no judgment.
So the other thing we're going to have a little chat about was I struggled with this one a little bit. We're going to talk about any sort of weird superstitions, weird things we do. I'm going to dread to ask Matt because there's loads. I'm going to start with Andy. What about you? Have you got any sort of?
I was thinking about this actually, and I don't really have any other than just a weird. When I get to a customer's and I've had a long drive, I normally just take a moment, just because you can still see cars zipping past you and your eyes can see the lines in the road. So I normally just take a minute or so, go through my emails, chill out from the drive, and then I'm ready to go and see the customer. But that's probably my not a superstition as such, just maybe a trait I have. But yeah, otherwise I don't really have anything. I don't think.
Interesting. I like that. When I've been around a bit longer than you guys, I was in sales once upon a time, and my sales manager said, whenever you get to a new client, go straight to the loo and sort your hair out, make yourself look nice. So I still kind of do that now. But that's because I'm old and need to go to the loo. But there's a similar kind of tradition. You also said always carry a briefcase. But who does that now?
No.
Yeah, in between has killed that off, didn't they?
Yeah. How about you, Matt?
I've got loads. I've got absolute. I'm riddled with them. I don't like odd numbers. So, like, I think that's kind of universal. The volume has to be on an even number. But my biggest nemesis is like single and 3 rows of grids. So I will go out of my way to avoid single and three grids. But ultimately, 2 grids and 4 grids, you don't see 4 grids that often. But 2 grids bring me good luck. It doesn't at all. It's a load of rubbish.
Okay.
But like mentally, I'm like, oh, there's a 2 grid there. I need to stand on that. And if I can't get out of a 3 grid, I have to walk on it 4 times so that it's an even number. Oh, honestly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. At first, I'm a little bit confused by what you mean by a grid that you're walking
Oh,
on.
you know, like almost like a manhole cover in the pavement.
Ah, is that a northern term for manhole cover? It's a grid. Did you know what that was, Andy?
I guessed what it was. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, you don't call it surely it's not a manhole cover. Oh, look at that manhole cover there.
I'm
It's a
not
grid.
sure I've ever called it anything.
I'd call it a manhole
I
cover.
feel like, yeah. So,
Just make sure you avoid them.
Yeah. Okay. Grid. Well, grids us anyway.
But then walking under ladders or a black cat going across my path, like not bothered. Like I'm not superstitious about that. It's more like the odd stuff. But then weirdly, I always wear odd socks as well. But I don't like odd things. Maybe I am.
Yeah. I feel like there's a sort of therapy service that needs to be offered here as much as anything. Okay,
Yeah,
there's
so
a lot of
any
superstitions.
Any recruiters listening, I need you, and also any therapists listening, I could probably do with a session as well.
Do you still
What do you
think
think about
as well?
coffee residue?
No, I'm 36. I'm not a kid.
I don't have
1 for sorrow, 2 for joy.
I don't have any of those sort of superstitions, but only trying not to talk about football. But I've football superstitions. Once something's done something, if it has a winning record, I can't change it until it's gone. I mean, fortunately, as a Brighton fan, it doesn't last that long. But yeah, so whatever it might be, underwear, people that you go with, could be anything. It drives Catherine bonkers because I'll sit in a certain way necessarily. But work-wise, no, none really.
There's another thing that I do as well, actually, just to bring it back to me as well. Like my
Yeah.
wedding ring, like if there's ever like a penalty shootout, I'll spin my ring 8 times, and I can't tell you if it's brought me good luck or bad luck or whatever, but I do find myself doing it actually when I need to, like, maybe it's just a distraction or something to
Yeah.
like think about and focus, but it's not really a superstition, I don't think.
Do you ever get like a feeling when a candidate's not going to turn up or they're not
Oh,
going to do something?
recruiter
Yeah,
instinct all the time.
yeah, I get that with customers for demonstrations. I have a feeling on driving to work or wherever I'm going, I just go, they're not going to turn up today. Just got a feeling,
Hmm.
and normally I'm right.
Yeah. The minute that I'll speak to someone, I'll be like, they're going to get the job, or just throughout the whole kind of interview process, or even like the rebate period as well. You're just like, I'm not going to spend that money yet until they're out they're out of that rebate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think that's a people instinct, isn't it? And we're all
Mm,
in the people business, aren't we?
yep.
Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely. Oh, that's
so
interesting. So
yeah.
we've had a little chat to sort of get to know each other a little bit, or people to get to know us a little bit. We'll be one of the things we said we do. We haven't got a name for this podcast, have we? We've had a few ideas.
Nope.
They've all been terrible. So
No.
when you see this, if you have any suggestions for a good name, what you would call it, please drop it in the comments below.
Hmm.
Do you have any thoughts? We won't share our thoughts. We'll come back on that one. But we'll look to do this fairly regularly. Hope it's been fun. Do you have any sort of finishing comments to make before we sign off?
Just don't judge us. Just just all our weirdness, and
Yeah.
I think it's good. 3 suppliers in the industry, just trying to have a bit of a general chit chat, something different from
Yeah.
a normal podcast in terms of interviewing people and things like that. Just a bit of light-hearted chit chat and giving
Chat.
our synopsis on stuff. So hopefully we'll have quite a few people that want to tune in religiously.
I think it's nice to get to know the people behind the email that people have ghosted, and just see who we are actually. Because sometimes as a salesperson, the guard goes up against me, but sometimes it's nice to get to know people, and I've got a family and a mortgage to pay and all those kind of things, and we just all want to get on and do our best, don't we? Really.
No, absolutely. It's that human element to it, isn't it? And I think let's not rule out bringing people in as special guests and things like that, depending on
Absolutely.
how the conversations go. So if you're interested, then yeah, let us know and we can have you on as a special guest.
Good stuff. Good stuff. We've got our first one in the bag. It's always hard to do the first one. We've got this done, so that's great, and we'll look forward to seeing you again.
Okay, can I go to the
See you soon.
toilet now?